I wonder if I could get another one made with maybe my pieces of my bouquet pressed in the resin, since I did a solo wood bouquet, like I have some flowers still from the wedding. And so I wonder if I can get a pin with some of those like in here. But anyway.
Hey there, Julia here, and today I'm very excited to tell you all about this project that me and Luke from Papa J Woodworks have been working on since April of this year. Super special pin commission that I'm just gonna take you through the process really quickly. I don't know if it's going to be quick, but I'll take you through the process, and then we're going to unbox this thing and I'll show you what the pen looks like, what he packed it up with. I'm going to write with it for the first time. It's going to be a good time. So on April the 11th, 2024, I sent this message to Luke. I said, question for you. I was thinking for my first anniversary to have a pin commission that had my bouquet pressed in a pin, or two, maybe one for my husband. I don't know. It's solo wood material. I love what you posted on your story and the mermaid jade pin. Would something like that be possible if I showed you / sent you the material to be used inside the resin? So yeah, I saw Luke's work on Instagram, particularly this mermaid jade pin, and I just thought it was so pretty. And that mixed with just my gears turning a little bit with the Tailored Pin Company pin that I've shown a few times on the channel, I just wanted to see if it was possible. So from there, Luke said he would do some research to see if it was possible, because in theory, wood, pen, it kind of goes together. But it turned out that no one that he had spoken to in the maker community had done anything with solo wood before. And solo wood is like this very thin, I have some right here, like this very thin material that comes undyed. And then the gal that did my bouquet, I found her on Etsy, I'll link her below, but I gave her the colors that we were thinking and she dyed these, and so they are like a natural color and then they're just dyed. But anyways, Luke was down to just give it a try and see what he could come up with. And so I sent him a sample of the florals. So around a month later, Luke got back with me and suggested we maybe go an opaque resin route versus the like clear look that the mermaid jade pen had and some of his other pens have, just because of the solo wood material. Like the flowers wouldn't really look like flowers. We would just kind of get an impression of a flower. And he sent me a few examples of like what he was thinking. There's like this cool pine cone pen that he showed me, and I thought that was super cool. And instead of white, like a white opaque resin, we'd go like a gray silver-ish kind of resin to match my wedding dress, which yes, I'm all for matchy-matchy, and the whole dress color was a whole thing with the wedding, so definitely wanted to incorporate that. And then during this time as well, I saw that Luke was making dip pins, and so I was like, okay, can I also get a dip pin as well? I can just pop my little Kakamori nib on there, and let's do that. So he agreed that if this all works out, that I would do a fountain pen and a dip pen. So around June, we ran into a couple of problems with the resin playing nicely with the wood. The dye was sort of lifting off of the wood, and so we weren't getting the color, like the true color of the florals. And so we went a little bit, back and forth with that. And I even asked Cam, my husband, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about the dye coming off of the petals? Cam was cool with it, and since he was super excited about where it was going, he got me super excited about where it was going. And so talking to Luke, turns out that the wood was just too soft as is and probably had some moisture in it still. And so he tried baking it to see if that would help, but that didn't really work as well as we hoped. So he had one more idea.
Hi, Julia. I wanted to show you this blank so we could make some decisions. I polished it up and put a CA finish on it, but I wanted to show you some of the stuff I was talking about here that I'm not too sure about. Okay, so this is like the light gray with the silver sparkles in it, which that will be picked up a little bit more and look, I think it'll look better when it's drilled out because it'll have some light showing through. But here's what I was talking about with your flowers. You see how they're not dyed all the way through? And they kind of have these white sections where you've turned them out. So I wanted you to see this, to see, if we should just go a completely different direction. Because even if these are stabilized, you're still going to be dealing with this, these white insides that kind of maybe don't necessarily look like flowers.
Okay, yay. I just got this back from Luke and just to see if I liked it. And it is so pretty. I love these larger bits of petals here. So I think I'm just going to reply and say, yes, let's keep it moving. I really like these larger petals. So whenever I send a new sample size, I will make sure that I have larger petals in there. But yeah, I really love the teal with the white, and there's even some sparkle in there and these little pink pieces. So yeah, he was worried about the dye kind of coming out the middle in some of these pieces, but I think that's really cool. And I think it matches, it kind of brings everything together in this like cohesive manner. So I think we're just gonna keep going for it.
After receiving that, I thought it was fine. I loved it. And just the whole idea of it, seeing my bouquet flowers in a pin. It wasn't really a pin yet. It was just like this block of resin, but it was just really cool. And just knowing like how special this would be. And so I said, let's just go with it. Let's just see what happens. And so after that, Luke said he had one more idea. And so I needed to send some sample material to Luke and then another batch of the florals and sample material to Jim with cocoon blanks. And so what Jim was going to do is stabilize the florals. And that just means that I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. This is just like what I've gotten out of asking way too many questions and probably talking Luke's head off. So stabilizing the material means like sucking all of the air out of said material, in this case, the sola wood, and like impregnates the material with resin to stabilize it. I don't know.
Okay, so I have my new pieces and I think my final pieces ready to send off. This bag of dried greenery is going over to Luke because I think this doesn't need any additional processing. And then these sola wood flower bits are going to Arizona. So these will get processed so that hopefully the dye sticks around a little bit better. They'll be impregnated with resin, I do believe, and then shipped over to Luke, and then he'll start the pen making process from there. So exciting.
And so the striations, as you saw in the other clip, I liked it just fine. It really had an abstract floral feel to it. But I was very curious to see what this stabilization process would do and how it would differ from what we've seen so far. So after sending off the florals and the pieces to both Luke and Jim, things started moving really quickly. Luke and I started working on some of the details, like the cap. He always does really great demonstrator caps with like flecks of gold or silver or other material kind of wrapped up in there, and I really love seeing the nib like through the cap on pins, so I definitely wanted one of those. But I also wanted like a more traditional, like matchy cap as well. So I was like, when he was asking me like which one did I want, I was like, can we do both? And so that decision was made there, where we would have two different caps. And with the demonstrator cap, Luke typically puts his Papa J Woodworks logo on the nib, but this time around, he just happened to ask, like, do you want your initials on there, your anniversary date, anything like that? And I knew immediately. If you don't know, me and my husband both are graphic designers. We own a business together. That's what we do day to day. So for our wedding, we of course had a wedding logo. And so I was like, yep, we're putting the wedding logo on the nib. So Kirk Spear at Penrim, which that's my homie, he also does custom nib engraving. And so I think Luke was already doing an order for himself anyways. And so we worked with Kirk, got the logo on the nib. Super exciting. It was super exciting. Earlier this month, there was a big pin reveal on Instagram, and Luke like showed the folks on there like the process, his process. He was so awesome in like filming him working on the pin and everything like that. So the pin was revealed there, and just the other day I got the pin in, and so I have looked at it because I just couldn't contain my excitement. So I have looked at it, but it's just been hanging out in here. And so I'm excited to pull it out, show you guys, and do a little writing sample and show you what all Luke packed in here. And so we will open this up here. And we have a nice note from Luke, and it says, Julia, thanks so much for trusting me with this meaningful project. I appreciate you a ton. Luke, I appreciate you. Awesome during this whole process. And so we have two boxes here. I don't know which one is which. Let's go with this first. So we open it up, and this is the dip pen. I also got to choose a sample for each. So I do have some ink here. We'll swatch that out because why not? And we're not going to put it on there because it's going to fall all over the place. Have a sticker and a nice little PET sticker as well. So here is the dip pen. Have my Kakamori nib right here to just pop on in here. So nice, very comfortable, nice glossy finish, polished to perfection. I love it so much. So yeah, you can see that there is some white in there, but there's also some like silver sparkle, and definitely looks kind of that off-white silver gray color that was in my dress. So that is that. Then here we are with the fountain pen. So we have another sample. I chose both Pirate Iroshizuku inks. And then here is the pen with the matching cap. Gorgeous. I love how he distributed. Like, you have some of the florals and things down here, but you also have it up top. And this middle section is just white. Super comfortable to hold. Again, polished to perfection. Love this grip section. And yeah, you can see the logo on the nib there. I also have it tattooed on my arm. And so we also have the second cap, and I just thought this would be fun because it just gives the pen these like two distinctive looks. Like if I want to show off the nib, I can do so. Or if I want it, you know, more of a subtle look, then I can do that as well. Here is the cap with those pretty silver flakes in there. Super happy with it. So the nib on it right now is a medium nib. It's a number 6 Yovo nib. And I do plan on getting Kirk to grind maybe an imperial nib on it, just because I love the imperial nib and I don't have it in a Yovo type nib yet. So that is my plan with that. I'm actually going to the Colorado Pen Show in early October, so I plan on getting that done there. Let's check out the inks and do a quick writing sample. This is my ink journal, and I already have some space for this, so we're gonna use the dip pen for this. And no, they aren't super like matchy, but I just picked some inks that I wanted to try. I love it so much. Oh my gosh, so comfortable. Okay, I'm gonna do the second swatch with the dip pen, but then I'm gonna dip the actual fountain pen and write with that, just because I haven't yet and I'm excited to. This should be more of a blurple. Yes. As you see, doesn't really match, but I had some other pens in mind when choosing these sample colors. For the pen, I was thinking of putting some lovely teals. Cloak and Forest comes to mind by Ferris Wheel Press, Emerald of Chivor. There's so many like really great teal inks that I have and love. And then this color, I was thinking like Diamine Masquerade, Conklin Dusty Rose. There's a Sailor ink that I have that's pretty close to this color. So I'm just gonna have a good old time trying to match colors as well. And it doesn't post, just in case you were wondering. It's not postable. Ooh, I really love this color. It writes beautifully as expected, but I cannot wait to get the imperial nib on this. It's gonna be so cool. So yeah, as you can probably tell, I am super happy with both of the pens. The extra cap, the process was super fun and just special. I'm really thankful to Luke for being open-minded about trying something a little new out, and also want to thank Jim with Cocoon Blanks for helping us out, and of course Kirk for hooking us up with the nib. I'll be seeing you soon. I will leave everyone's information down below if you want to commission your own pen. I cannot believe this is finally in my hands, and this is going to be such a cool keepsake, a functional keepsake. So I'm very excited about that. So you will be seeing this around in its different forms, as well as the dip pen. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this, and I will leave a video for you right here if you're curious about how I documented my wedding, my honeymoon, all of this, like getting together the logo and figuring out the color scheme and all of that. I've documented it all, of course, because that's what planner people do. I will leave that for you right here. Thank you again so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I will see you all in the next one.